From architecture to painting and sculpture, literature to live music and theater. Radio 111 presents Bonnie G. and Brayan Mendoza with The Desert Scene, your connection to culture and entertainment in the desert cities. Here's Bonnie and Brayan.
And welcome to The Desert Scene. I'm here with my fabulous partner, co-host, Brayan Mendoza, who's running the board. He always wears many hats. How you doing, Brayan?
I'm doing good. I'm excited about our guest today.
Yes. We have a wonderful violinist who's going to be featured at a big event at the McCallum. And I want to make sure I get this correct. Pinchas, is it Zukerman or Zukerman?
It's either or, and it can also be Zukerman, which is the German pronunciation, but I'm not German.
Okay, okay. So is it, so you prefer Zukerman? Is that really?
That sounds good.
Okay.
You're doing it very well.
Okay.
Bravo. Well done.
Well, welcome. I just don't like butchering people's names, so I try not to do that.
No, change it. Pinchas Jones is also okay.
You know, my maiden name was Rowan, R-A-U-E-N. I haven't used that in years, but people couldn't handle it. It was 3 vowels in a row, and they just thought it was Raven. They just couldn't handle it. So anyway, okay.
That's okay.
So, you're going to be featured with the Palm Springs Friends of Philharmonic, part of their 6-concert series at the McCallum. So tell us a little bit about your background. Did you start playing violin as a small child?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I was 7 and some. But I played recorder before that, a bit of clarinet, but that was way too young. Mm-hmm. My dad was one of the fine klezmers I've ever seen. He played accordion, violin, clarinet to earn a living. Mm-hmm. And he started me off on the recorder just to start learning to read music, and I had good pitch, so good ear for pitch. So he decided at 7.5, together with a friend of his, that maybe it's time to give me a fiddle. So he gave me a fiddle, and the rest is history.
So did you take to the violin right away? Did that feel comfortable for you?
I'm still trying to do it. These kind of things are not necessarily the reason why one sustains or continues to play. I think most of the time, I would say, there has to be someone, or maybe a couple of people, that detect a talent. My dad saw that I had a good ear, so he searched out the best teacher he could find, and it happens to be a woman called Ilona Feher. She's now passed away, but she came from Hungary in late 50s after the revolution there. And so we went to see her, and she said I could hardly play. I played open strings, but he taught me how to tune. So, and that's unusual for a young lad, because it's hard to tune those pegs. At any rate, she said she can't. She has no room. She has so many students. Blah blah blah. And so she said, "Yeah, but let me hear what he can do." So I took out the violin, and she was about to tune it for me. I said, no, it's okay, I can do it. Well, that so impressed her, and I played some open strings and a few notes. I was only playing for about 2 or 3 months, but she liked what she saw. Mm-hmm. She said, okay, I'll make room for him. And again, The rest is history. Yeah.
Wow. My significant other plays violin. He played in the symphony here for a while, but he also plays jazz, and he plays country fiddle with a country band. So I've always, I always wondered about that, because you see, these scenes in television movies where little kids are practicing the violin and sounding really awful and screeching, and it's I think it would be a tough instrument for parents to listen to little kids practice unless they get good right away. Did you feel like you got pretty good?
Well, I don't know. I think today, the last few years, meaning the last 25 or 30 years, we've had Suzuki, we've had the Asian countries really come forward in proficiency and teaching. Their population, it's tremendous. I mean, I can't say enough to how they have now really taken over practically the musical world, and kids there start sometimes 3 and 4 years old.
Really young, yeah.
And they're very well coordinated, which is interesting. I mean, it's a little bit like tennis,
Yeah.
You can teach somebody how to hold a racket, but then they have to get on the court and hit a ball, and if they can do that at the age of 5, you can bet they're going to be there at 20. So.
Right.
It's a kind of similar thing. The dancing is the same, ice hockey, etc. So I don't know. I think it's difficult for the parents, but on the other hand, the parents want the child to succeed, so there will be a push.
Yeah.
to give the child the best possible education.
So you do, as you do teach, you, first of all, you've been awarded a Medal of Arts, the Isaac Stern Award of Artistic Excellence, and teacher and champion of young musicians. You've been the chair of the Pinchas Zukerman Performance Program at the Manhattan School of Music for 25 years. What's your secret? What's your style of teaching? How would you describe yourself as a teacher?
Honesty.
Oh, okay.
And I bring forward what I know to the students. It doesn't matter to me where they come from. There are some things today that are uncalled for, like you're not supposed to touch a girl in the school. You know, if you touch her shoulder, you know, they can kick you out of the school.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
I understand where it's coming from, and I see all that, and so I don't really prescribe to obviously touching a child or somebody that's 18 or 19, 20 unusually hard. But if you need to put the elbow down because they just don't do it, I put the elbow down.
Right.
You know? I go over and I say, hey, the elbow's too high, and I go, tuck, and that's it.
Yeah.
So what's the big deal? You know, but we have all these sociological changes that are taking place that are not necessarily the best solution for best society in the future. I don't believe they are.
Yeah.
And so I just keep to what I know, how to teach and how to continue doing it. I've had some of the greatest mentors, some of the greatest names, icons in the music world in the 20th century that helped me. So, and they were, I tell you, they were tough. You have to be tough. There's a discipline that if you can acquire it, and the faster you can acquire the discipline, the easier it is later in life. And I'm still doing it, and it's been a long time.
Yeah.
You know, it's so anyhow. Those are the teaching itself comes from a very regular, disciplined fundamentals, which we go through. It doesn't matter who the person is and where they come from. We go through that. When they first come to our class in Manhattan, but I've done it many other places as well. So, and it's very invigorating when you see a person after, let's say, 6, 8, 10 months, all of a sudden a sound comes and they smile. Well, let me tell you, that's one of the nicest things that could happen to anyone.
Absolutely. So, are you strictly classical? Do you play any other genres?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely classical.
And so tell us about the program that you have coming up at the McCallum on the 22nd. How did you choose the music? And have you? I'm assuming you've performed here in the desert before at some point in Palm Springs.
Oh yeah, I used to live in a tent right down the street. No, I'm kidding. When you say desert, I think of Israel immediately, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I have been to McCallum many times. Most recent in the last 10 or so years with the Royal Philharmonic, where I played and conducted as a visitor. I've not actually played. I don't think I've played a recital. If I did, I can't remember.
Okay.
It must be a long time ago. At any rate, well, we chose this program. Shai Wozner is a terrific pianist. Happens to be also Israeli, but he's a wonderful guy and he plays beautifully. And we just talked about the pieces we would like to play, and we chose, well, four of the best composers, some of the best composers we know. Mozart, Beethoven, Brahms, and Schumann. You can't go wrong with that.
Yes.
And it's key signature. It's some of it has to do with the key signature. You don't want to repeat the same key signature in each piece. So these are wonderful pieces for piano and violin, and we just go out and do our thing, and that's it. You know, the rest is up to the audience to listen.
Yeah. So so obviously you're doing a lot of teaching. How often do you go out and play? Do you have a lot of dates throughout the year or throughout the country?
Well, you know, I'm sure you know, things were stopped for quite a while. I'm in a position where now it's starting to flow again. Some of it were postponements from 20 onwards, so it's 2 years and a bit.
Yeah,
there have been postponements all over of playing. It's slowly but surely coming back. Some of it is new, some of it new meaning a new date that was postponed, but it couldn't be done on the date that they wanted, so it's a new date, so to speak. Right now, for example, I took this date because they asked me to come and play because one of the orchestras from Russia couldn't make it. And so I said, yeah, my God, yes, okay. But I'm actually I wouldn't have done it under normal circumstances because if the society was not in trouble, because I have to go in the morning, the next morning from Los Angeles to Budapest.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so it's okay. I mean, I've done it before, but if it was not because of COVID and because of all the cancellations, etc., I would have had double thoughts on it. This way, I said, yes, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Because some of the audience obviously, knows me. I know them, so it'll be a very good feeling to hear music again.
Absolutely.
For the audience, for me to play. So I'm going to Hungary. From there, I'm going to Prague, and from Prague, my wife and I were going then to Poland and to London and also to Italy in about a 3-week, 17, 18-day period. That seems like it's a lot, again, but it's interesting because it's one performance only. We used to go to play in these places with orchestra, 2 performances, minimum.
Yeah.
We were just in Dallas, and then from 4, it went to 2 with a chamber music concert as well. So it's coming back. I hope that we are able to continue this process of coming back in the best possible way, which means the health departments have to give us the okay.
Right.
You cannot just make up your own mind and say, I'm going to go, because they're not going to come to the concerts.
Right.
Unless we have purifications, the masks, and all those other aspects.
Yeah.
Regardless of what one thinks of the booster or no booster, or vaccine or no vaccine, you have to have some kind of sense that you're going to sit next to someone, even if it's 2 or 3 seats away, and they might get infected. We've just heard 2 days ago, I'm sure you have, that there's a new variant now, and it's really horrible.
Yeah.
However, what's interesting is all of a sudden, out of nowhere, 3 people now have received a shot against HIV and has cured them. And I think that's phenomenal, because I first heard about AIDS in 81. That's how long it's taken.
Yeah.
I hope this does not take as long, and I don't think it will.
Yeah.
But to dismiss all the possible experts that tell you exactly the same thing in every country, just dismiss it. Nah, I don't believe in it. What do you mean? What are you not believing in?
Yeah.
So
It's
that's
crazy.
bad.
Yeah.
I think that's not good.
Yeah.
And I hope that people get a little more sense into their brains. It's dreadful for little kids that go to school. They can't go to school.
Sure.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Okay, we've passed that. I think we need to really be conscious of all these aspects as teachers, as parents, as performers, and obey what they tell you when you arrive there in any city, any country. So it is coming back, but it's not coming back the way everybody thought it would, because it can't. It's not possible. But if you can be playing 5 to 6 engagements every 5 weeks, hey, you're lucky.
Absolutely.
So,
well, we're happy. Yeah. We're happy about that, and we're happy that Pinchas Zukerman is coming to play with Palm Springs Friends of Philharmonic to the McCallum Theater Tuesday, February 22nd. You can go to McCallumtheater.com for tickets. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was lovely chatting with you.
Oh, thank you very much.
And stay safe and have a wonderful show, and we'll see you all again on the Desert Scene.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. Take care of yourself.
Take care.